Chris Lovell here with Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is Pirate Talk with head volleyball coach Dana Hill. We are thrilled to be with you. We will be doing this sporadically throughout Coach Hill's season. As you will hear from me, she is rather busy. I've been trying to get with her for about a month now, and you are rather busy. You can follow Lubbock Cooper Athletics at AthleticsLCP on Twitter and Instagram. And Coach Hill, how do we follow your program on social media?
At LCP Volleyball for Twitter.
Okay, there you
Yes.
go. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's like LCP Volleyball or Volleyball LCP, one of the two.
Right,
I know that. Yes.
Okay.
But you guys do a great job, and so we have so much to get into, and all of your games too. So we don't forget, all of your games are being streamed. They're on YouTube. You can check out LCISD on YouTube and make sure you subscribe. And if you want to do yourself a favor, turn on those notifications so every time that Coach Hill's team goes live, like they did last night against Friendship, you'll find out what's going on there. So let's take it way back.
Okay.
This is first year for you as the head coach. When this kind of plays out, what's going through your mind? Were you worried, nervous, excited, all the above? Kind of take me back through the spring and everything, and we're getting to this point.
To the spring, I think, it was just about starting to make relationships and to kind of figure out my way and how to put my own stamp on things. This program is amazing, and it carries a lot of tradition. And so just to put my own stamp on it, not to eliminate any of those traditions, but to enhance those and just to move forward. And again, I guess the biggest thing was just to establish relationships early and often, and just to make sure I wanted everybody to feel included and a part of something great, that we're going to hopefully take this program to new heights and to new levels, and wanted everybody to feel like they had a part in that.
Can you tell, because you were Coach Morrison's main assistant, can you tell how much different your job is and how many more things that you are pulled into as the head coach that maybe you didn't really grasp that you do now?
Absolutely. Like, you don't realize all that a head coach does. I guess I didn't. I can at least say that until I was in this position. There's a lot that goes on, and there's a lot that you are responsible for, and I take that very seriously, and I love that responsibility, and I'm thankful that Lubbock Cooper ISD has given me this opportunity. So, yes, it's different. There's a lot of decisions that go on that people really have no idea.
The buck stops with
right,
you.
that you have to make. And so, again, I'm thankful for the opportunity.
And you are so good around young people, and I think that's why you've been placed in this position. But I know that's the thing, is now you're in charge of not just your team, but there's all these teams. There's your program,
Right.
And it's massive.
Yes.
And you've got coaches under you and all these things. But let me talk to you about your staff a little bit. Caroline Wood is one of your main assistants. You've got Kaylin Anderson and Kendall Apple. But talk to me about the people that help you on a day-to-day basis.
I couldn't do the job that I do without them. You have to delegate and give them responsibilities, and they have come through with just flying color. I can't say enough about my staff and their support and what it means to have their support. We have 58 athletes, and we give each coach, I have total trust in them to run their teams as they see fit. We really pride ourselves in taking care of student athletes, and so they have been amazing. They've been vital to our success thus far, and we hope that success definitely continues. But I can't say enough about them. And Caroline, her getting to know me and me getting to know her since we work so closely, it's been great. We've had some out-of-town tournaments that we've,
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So that's been great, just to learn each other and kind of, a lot of times, we hire based on our strengths, and I didn't do that. I hired based on my weaknesses, just so that, I know what I'm good at, and I know what she's great at. And so I think those two things are coming together really well. I mean, she was a setter at Tech, and she knows her volleyball, and so she's been a great asset to our program.
You need to go. You need to go look at Coach Wood's picture from her snapshot as her senior year at Tech. It's great. She was still really young then, even though she's a senior. I'm like, she looks so different now.
For sure.
But yeah, and she's so good with the girls, and
so
I know
good.
you think a lot of her, and I think that's important that what you said. You kind of knew what you needed, and you went and found it, and
Right.
that's what it's. You're the one that's got to be comfortable. You replaced a lot of seniors from your team last year. That was a great group, and there's so many that left that have played a lot of volleyball. But let's talk about Hope Douglas, who returns, has been in this program for 4 years, and then your youngest, who's been in this program for 4 years. Those two have played or been in the program more than, nobody's ever going to break those records.
Right.
When we talk to Chip Darden, it's like, he had Kobe McKenzie and Kyler Jordan.
Yeah.
These are kind of two girls that have this is all they've known as varsity volleyball from the time they stepped in high school. But take me through those two and what they've meant on helping you with your culture and kind of you setting the standard of what you want to do.
Last year when we had, like Sydney Payton and your daughter Holland and Dalia and Nicole and Amanda, and, we had a great group of leadership in our seniors last year. And what they charged, and even the seniors before that charged those seniors with, is just to make sure you leave this program better than you found it. And so they really took that to heart, knowing those two, Hope and Demaya, knowing that they have been here since their freshman year. So they've had a chance to learn from a lot of great leaders. And so they really take that responsibility and really try to lead by example. And we talk about a lot of times it's not what you're doing or what you're saying, as far as being a leader, a lot of, what are you doing? What are your actions saying? And so they take great responsibility in that. And so I think being here for 4 years and just basically being groomed as to what it's like to be a Lady Pirate volleyball player has really come full circle for them, and then being able to step in that leadership role this year.
And what you're describing is culture. This is the way it's supposed to work. It's culture. It's you pass the baton, and there's a responsibility that comes with being a good player or things like that. So you've been really busy. I'm going to take you back before the season actually started, though.
Okay.
And I was trying to get with you, and I'm like, okay, we got these tryouts. You're trying to figure out who your teams are going to be. You went into this team bonding thing.
Yeah.
Have you looked back on that experience, to those 2 days with those girls? Because I witnessed some of it, and it was hard, and I think they are better off for it. But take me through. You've never done that before.
We've never done that before. I came across that off of the Kansas volleyball Twitter page, and so it was hard. And the girls, although they took away from that, yes, it was hard. There was a lot of positives that they took, and just one of the main concepts of that was to fight for your warrior to your right and to your left. And so, for example, when we're at Bastrop and we literally have each other, that's it. We have each other, we have our parents, and there were a lot of teams I know in the semifinals or the last game of our pool play. There were 2 teams in the stands rooting for the team that we were playing. So it was a very much an atmosphere that I said, we've been through this. We've been through this in those 2 days. And so I said, oh, yeah, like we have been. And so you have to learn to rely on each other. And I think, that kind of prepares us for the tournament this weekend, and then even play into district, that we're all that we have. And so they're team chemistry. And when we say culture, we don't just want that to be a word that we're saying. We want our culture to be inclusive and inviting, and girls to feel like they belong. And so it has definitely been battleground tested. We had the team that we played in the championship, the gym was loud, and it was a great atmosphere for volleyball. And so we just want to be able to carry that success. And I told them we get to celebrate this for basically the ride home. And then we have to get back to work. Just having the word Lady Pirates on your jersey, people come gunning for you. And so we understand that, and we prepare for that every day.
That's I'm glad you said that, because that's something when I was able to visit with your girls 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's a standard that comes with this what's on the front, and there you have a bullseye, and you're really good, and it's been really good, and so guess what? Everybody wants to beat you.
Everybody.
And I hate it for those teams rooting for your opponent in Bastrop, because they all went home with an L.
Yeah, they did.
That's right, they did. But team bonding and everything, and now it's been really, really busy because you guys have been in Denton for a better part of a week. You've been in Bastrop for a better part of a week.
Right.
You've already played Trinity here. Or actually at their place, but in Lubbock. You've played Randall, played Friendship earlier this week, and now you go to Friendship this weekend in a tournament. But I mean, when volleyball season starts, people don't get it. There's not many days off except for a Sunday. That's it.
Right.
So.
And that's what we talked to the girls about when we were in summer, doing sweat camp and those kind of things, to go and do kid things, because once it starts, it starts. And so, we had a lot of, we never really had a complete team, I guess, at sweat camp, and that's okay, because we wanted kids to go do kid things, go church camp, go do some vacations, enjoy your family time, because, we're pretty much, once it started in August, like you said, there's not many breaks, and so we needed them to be rejuvenated, to be ready to go once it was go time.
Let's talk about some of the other girls on your roster. You've got some seniors on this team. I mean, I know like Ava Hounshell is one of your main pieces, Paige Rollins. I mean, kind of take me through some of the other girls. I mean, Demaya and Hope get most of the press,
right,
and understandably so, but take me through some of the other girls that are kind of, you're starting to see step into leadership roles and emerge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what's so unique about this team, is that we do have our Demayas and our Hopes, but Demaya and Hope know that they can't do it alone. And we've had
Someone's got to
girls,
hit it to them.
Yeah.
Serve it
and
to
we've
them.
had some girls, like Ava Hanschel. She's been able to play with some great liberos, and Kate Siegel and Sydney Payton, and so she's been able to learn from those players, and for lack of better words, waited her turn, and now she's in that different color jersey for a reason. She carries our team. And sometimes we kind of depend on her too much, especially, just to, like, oh, Ava's going to be there. Well, she can't be everywhere, and so she has been amazing in her leadership role and just coming into her own, as far as we can depend on her. We know that she's going to be an amazing passer and get the ball where it needs to be, and she does such a good job of telling, and not only her, we've had Paige Rawlings has stepped up as our setter, and Caitlin Caswell, and just that group of leadership. It's just, again, they're not only great kids, but they're great athletes. And so they've been able to, like, Paige, I think, led us in assists last night. And then Ava led us in digs, as she should, as being our libero. So it's been really nice to see them developing and stepping into leadership roles. They're, especially Ava, she's our quiet leader. She doesn't say it much, but when she says,
right,
she commands attention, and so that's been really nice to see. And the girls respond; they respond well. And we've talked about feedback from your teammates, and not to let that be a negative thing. And how we talk to each other is important, because it in turns how we respond is important too. So. A lot of times on the court, it's so loud that I can't give them feedback, but they can give each other feedback because they're in close proximity to each other. So having that relationship with each other, to be able to tell them, hey, you're doing this, but I need you to do this, and then to not have us respond in a negative way, is huge. And I think it speaks a lot about our culture that we're trying to build here.
If Dana Hill wasn't coaching volleyball, she'd be doing what?
I would be, oh gosh, that's hard to say. If I wasn't coaching volleyball, I would still probably be working with youth in some capacity.
Okay, kids.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's my calling. I think that's what I'm on this earth to do,
yeah.
And I take it very seriously, in the charge that that I'm able to have a small part in enhancing today's youth. I think. Not only my own kids, but I've had a lot of kids throughout the years that I consider my own. And so I still think in some capacity I'd be working with youth. Mm-hmm.
Dana Hill's favorite pregame routine is what? Do you have one?
I do. Just taking some time in prayer.
Okay.
Just kind of relaxing and know that the girls are prepared. I've done what I can do to prepare them. Coach Wood has done what she's do to prepare them. Because I think it's my responsibility to be their calm, and vice versa. We talk a lot about being each other's calm in the midst of chaos, because we have teams that are going to, yes, make a run and come at us and battle, but we have to be each other's calm. So that's my pre-game ritual. It's just to take a few minutes by myself and just to make sure I'm what the team needs in the battleground.
During a match, because she's had some outstanding tournaments, I think she's been named all tournament teams in Denton and Bastrop, but Demaya, has your relationship from a coach and player standpoint changed with you as the head coach?
You know,
Do you want, because sometimes you can have a tendency to be harder on your own kid or too easy on your own kid. People are different.
Right.
Has that changed compared to, like, say, last year?
you know, I've had to kind of, her and I have had to
work on that
and to figure out what that looks like. But I always want her to know that I'm mom first.
Okay.
That's important to me. And when we leave here, when we leave the gym, there's no talk about volleyball. Because that's just been a rule from very early on. Now, if she wants to discuss it, we do.
Okay.
But there has to be a separation in that because she's, and we've worked to get here to know that she's not only a volleyball player, that she's more than that.
Okay.
And so we work on that.
Great perspective.
We work on that a lot. But we have had to figure that out, and I've had to make sure that, like you said, I'm not too easy on her, but I'm not too hard on her. I try to have a balance and be consistent in what I am on others, I'm on her, so that she understands there's still this accountability that you're going to have as being a Lady Pirate volleyball. Absolutely, you're going to have that just as anybody would. And so we're working through that, and it's a daily progress.
Okay, so at Volleyball LCP on Twitter, and y'all's games are cashless now. Everybody's got to have a ticket, so you don't have like a ticket on your phone and showing you make sure you find that.
Yep.
Coach Hill will push that out via Sports U. It's on their social media accounts.
Absolutely.
Athletics LCP, all the different things on Twitter and Instagram. Okay, so the schedule now, does it start to lighten up a little bit before district goes, or are you still just really crazy and busy? Because I don't think you're out of town tournaments or. Yeah, it doesn't get calm. I know the answer to that one, but at least you're not gone for 4 or 5 days in a row anymore.
Right, and that's nice. So we'll have our last tournament this coming weekend. We go to Friendship for their tournament
here in town.
Yes,
okay.
And the competition is great. We start off with West Plains.
Okay, the new high school out in Amarillo.
Yeah, and then we'll, if we can win, we'll go the winner between Wichita Falls Rider and Coronado.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll see where we go from there. So. And then we come back with, we start with the duel. We have a duel with, we go to Tascosa. Then we have a
Midland Legacy
in Hereford, which have been, Hereford just came off of a championship win at their tournament where they were at. And Legacy is playing some great volleyball as well. So that's two tough opponents. But we tried to stack our preseason with, pretty tough, just so that we can prepare for our district.
That's the way it goes around there. Yeah, I'm like, what are these coaches doing? This is the hard, but I get it. I understand what you're trying to do. Let's play them out. Let's play them all. Well, Coach Hill, good luck.
Thank you.
I appreciate you spending some time with me.
Absolutely.
And
I'm happy to do it.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank
we'll
you.
do this again soon. She's a stud. That's Dana Hill, Chris Level. We'll do it again next time.
See you then.